Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Henry Kramer, 605 Chaser, having a little bit of an issue here with regards to my broadcast. Let's break it down here for you. I don't have a whole lot of time. Duty calls with some family that has to take my time, but we've got many issues here with the wind. The destructive wind, North Platte to Omaha. And we are expecting this to happen later this afternoon, late evening, or late afternoon, early evening. Let's break everything down for you for areas of Nebraska. I'll get that pulled up here for you. All right, so just a disclaimer, this is through Pivotal Weather. None of these ads that are on here are sponsors of mine. All right, so we're going to play this out here. We're going to take a look at the composite reflective here and kind of show you the timing of this. As you can see, it starts ramping up 23Z. So this again is going to be somewhere around 6 p.m. It starts in the western portion of Nebraska, right over here, over in Colorado area. And once we get into this is 6 p.m. Here's 7 p.m. Right here's 7 p.m. And then once we get this is a concern right here. So let me take a look and see what this comes back. Doesn't come back with any sounding information. Let's go a little bit further. Once we get to 8 p.m. or 9 p.m., this is 9 p.m. Marginal severe, so nothing real huge, but then this is probably a little bit bigger. Still says marginal. Let's go back over to this one. This is probably where the big wind event is going to be. This is going to be still saying marginal. Goodness gracious, the HER model is having a struggle here. So this is 7 p.m. Add 5 hours, so we're looking at about midnight time frame, if my math is correct. But you can definitely see over here in Iowa, just northeast of the area of Omaha, you're going to have some big impacts. Wind, the threat. What is exactly the threat? Let's go ahead and bring that up with the pivotal weather here and show you the big time threats that we have for today. All right, so we do have Sioux City. My goodness gracious, Connor Croft is still live, but he's not really live. He forgot to shut his feed off. He forgot to shut his feed off from last night. He was probably beat. All right, 2 days of chasing. So we do have this big risk over back to the Billings area, Rapid City, North Platte, Omaha, Lincoln, Des Moines, all in a slight risk of severe weather. What do we have expected for tornado activity? 1 second here. All right. So as far as the tornado risks throughout the U.S., less than 2% risk. 1 minute. All right. So the tornado risk, thankfully, is on the low side. Wind risk, again, significant, severe in this black area here. I hate allergies. I really hate allergies. Oh my goodness. So anyhow, we have this area here, and then outside of that, a lower risk, but still a pretty big risk. We got 15%, but this is a significant 15%. So some might say higher than 15%, but they put the significant bars on it just to say that that's basically the bullseye today. Hail risk is fairly low, especially in areas of Nebraska and then Colorado, but back up over by Rapid City, a little bit higher of a risk for that hail back to Billings, Montana area and Wyoming. So we'll see. Otherwise, it's pretty calm and quiet. We don't have a whole lot going on. There's some things down here, tropical wise, but again, that's going to stay way out to the southwest of Mexico City area. Not going to hit any land. So we don't need to really worry about that. Let's go ahead and take a look at another weather model here. And we're going to take a look at the MPAS. Yesterday it did pretty darn well with the timing of the storms. And so I kind of want to see exactly what's going to happen with that today. Make sure I have latest update here. 1 second. There we go. All right, so we just need to show you this, and let me actually get the US pulled up instead, go national here so that you can kind of see if there's any risks for the areas that were impacted already. Let's go to South Dakota. The southern portion of South Dakota has a possibility of some risks later today as well. Let's go ahead and move that through. This is a look at roughly 7 a.m. here, what the estimates are. And as you can see here, once we get into like the 1 o'clock hour, things are kind of ramping up. There's 2 o'clock down in the southern portion, extreme southeast portion of South Dakota. There is some storms that are possible there. Again, I don't expect these to be real significant, but on the marginal side. And if those get ramped up, sooner rather than later, it could hinder the development further into Nebraska. But here's a look at 3 p.m. today, areas of South Dakota, and then over here towards the south central, unfortunately, winter area again. Winter area again looks to be bad. Areas southeast portion of Montana looks pretty bad there as well. And then again, the main concern is a little bit further south there where you go into like the O'Neill, Nebraska area. That's when we see the big timing of the wind. This is 23Z, so we're looking at 6 p.m. This is going to be pretty destructive if this plays out how this is showing. Um, we could have pretty destructive day again. Again, this would be kind of the same areas that got hit yesterday, Charles Mix and all that. So I really hope this will look at 7 p.m. I know it says the 30th on there. Just a reminder, when you're looking at Zulu time, you got to convert it. So basically, this ends up being 7 p.m. Central Daylight Time on the 29th. So that's why some people have a little bit of a difficulty seeing that. And then as you get into the overnight hours, you can see that that pretty much dies out, but goes over into areas of eastern Iowa before it gets over to Illinois. All right, let's go ahead and break down the Rufus model. We haven't shown that for a while and see if that's playing out exactly the same or if it's a little bit different. We want to show you as many models as we can so you guys can be the judge. Again, the tornado risk is extremely low. Can't say it's ever zero, but the wind threat is pretty high. Goodness gracious. Might help if I show the right stuff, right? There we go. All right, so here we go. We're going to play this out here and take a look at, there's 1 p.m. And the Rufus is showing this not to start showing up until 7 p.m. I actually believe this one a little bit more. So this is 6 p.m. You can kind of see right here some storms right here. This one, these are going to stay supercellular or, you know, more discrete is what this is kind of showing before it kind of joins a line. Again, this is a look at 10 p.m. Goodness gracious, I'm getting all kinds of storm photos here, so just be aware. Um, I'm getting all kinds of stuff, but anyhow, this is quite a bit. Let me show you some of the storm damage that we have had. Not in my area, but take a look at this. Whatever you want to call it. You want to call it a derecho, you want to call it straight line winds, you want to call it a tornado. These were sent to me kind of the Alcester, Hudson, South Dakota area. Some uprooted trees and quite a bit of damage has been reported in those areas from last night's storms. I live like in the Sioux Falls area. I'm not going to specifically say, but um, there's quite a bit of damage. Don't want to show that. That's somebody's license plate. But anyhow, that's what we got for today. The risk again is a wind threat, and that significant wind threat is further to the south into areas of Nebraska. But don't discard this little puppy right here. If you live in this region here, you could have some marginally severe, which would end up still having a possibility of some penny-size hail and maybe 40 to 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts with these storms that trek through, if they can power up before it gets too late in the evening. There might be too much cold air aloft after that front came through that causes this to not really ramp up in the area of South Dakota. But Nebraska, all bets are off. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we have as far as the current temperatures, surface observations here, so that you guys can kind of get an idea. So it does show these little tiny cells here, not anything severe at this point in time, moving to the southeast, and that's going to continue to trek towards Storm Lake, Fort Dodge areas. Again, the surface temperatures that we have, 71 for Norfolk, 66-degree dew point, 75-degree dew point just over by York. So we still got plenty of moist, muggy air to work with. Even in areas of South Dakota, we still have that 68-degree dew point. That is in Madison, and 66 dew point in Sioux Falls area, or sorry, Mitchell. What else are we expecting to have happen for the future? Let's go ahead and see if we got any other crazy weather expected. We do have another marginal risk over in areas of Rapid City and Wyoming and Montana for tomorrow. And as you probably had guessed it, whatever we get today through Nebraska, it's going to build that line and continue a threat. I would suggest people in Bloomington, Springfield, Indianapolis, along these lines, that is going to be a wind threat as well as potential for tornado. Even though they don't have that yet, let's take a look. They have that possibility here for the wind threat. Right now it's low, but that's because it's on day 2. And then the hail threat is going to be lesser than the 2 of them. Let's go ahead and take a look at day 3. Day 3 would end up being Thursday, which would be the 31st, to round out your end of the month. And so these are all general thunderstorms as expected there. As we see, things are going to definitely quiet down. Let's go a little bit further. Again, I don't suspect if there's a general thunderstorm on Thursdays, then I wouldn't suspect that there's going to be much of anything else there. So good news, folks. After we get through today and tomorrow, things are going to look a little bit brighter for us. I mean, as far as temperature wise, though, you might have an issue. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. If you love the sun and the fun, you may have an issue with these temperatures that we're going to show you here in just a minute. Let me go over to the NAM. Let me show you the GFS for temperature wise. So if you don't like colder weather. We got 60s at 7 a.m. That's not too bad, right? 70s. But this time of year, it typically ends up being a little bit warmer than that. This is a look at highs at 1 p.m., 75s pretty much across the board. Beats the heck out of, and then looking at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning time frame on the first, look at that. We're looking at 50s. That's going to be nice and cool. See if we have that a little bit further out here. And we start to see more of a cool down, and then the temperatures start rebounding as we get to, look at there, about the 6th. So you got about a week's time of this warmer or this cooler weather, just a little bit of a break before summertime goes ahead and hits us full force. Let me show you one other link here. I want to show you the extended supercell composite parameters. This is by Gensini, and he puts together these models. So this is really not a whole lot going on until maybe the 5th through the 11th of August. Again, these are accumulated supercell composite parameters. It just shows basically where some of the storm activity could start ramping up. So the week of the 5th through the 11th, which is great. That's I mean, great for me, not great for the U.S., but for storm chasing, that could end up being another possibility of a chase the 5th through the 11th. So I base my budget around storm chasing as much as I can. So I try to forecast. A little bit further out as we get into August 12th through the 18th, things go a little crazy down in Kansas. I don't think that we're going to see a whole lot going on in the Dakotas and Nebraska area as we get to the 12th and the 18th. But that's kind of a really extended outlook for you. I appreciate you all being here. Like and subscribe, and make sure you share this live so that way people know what's going on. And we will catch you tomorrow morning around the same time. I appreciate you all staying with me as we work through a lot of details trying to get this business going. It's not going to be lucrative, and storm chasing never is, but we just want to be able to get enough money to be able to sustain that storm chasing ability so that we can actually get to a point where we're full-time doing this and we can focus on giving you guys more weather updates constantly instead of just, seems like lately just getting bogged down with a lot of other things that I have to do. So we'll catch you